Hey guys and girls, my name is Alan and welcome to today's gameplay commentary. As you can see, I've got another Battle Royale Fortnite match for you to enjoy today. I'm playing as part of a public squad. Well, you can't see it's a public squad, but it is a public squad. I don't know any of these people. We're not communicating or anything, so we'll just play. Well, I'm playing mute. I don't know if these guys know each other as a group or whatever. But as you can see, we've all set a destination, and for some reason, someone jumped out early, and then the other two jumped out, and I thought, well, I'll follow the crowd. So I think we're still heading towards the location. This is quite an early game, as well, you can't tell, but it's an early piece of gameplay. And I should note that I do fast forward some sections, so when the sound goes quiet, such as now, it's fast forwarded, but as you can see, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just dropping to the ground, so I thought fast forward this bit. I didn't want to cut it out because I kind of don't like it when the game jumps from one section to another. I like to know what's going on in between, but obviously you don't need to see that in normal time because it's just, as it's just me gliding towards the ground. Anyway, so the waypoint is somewhere to the right of where I am at the moment, but I've dropped down to Tomato Town. I'm starting to learn the locations, well, learn the names of the locations. I don't actually know where they are on the map in correlation to where I am, but if someone says Tomato Town, I kind of know, like, this is Tomato Town, and, you know, Dusty Depot is the three warehouses and so on and so forth. So I'm getting better at that, but it's still quite a big map, and there's plenty of areas that I've yet to fully explore, so I'm still learning, as I said. Even though technically I've played this game now for about 3 weeks, was when I first played my first match. I haven't played every single day, and when I have played, I've put in a few hours, so it's not like I've played consistently every day for like the past 3 weeks. So 3 weeks is when I first started playing it, but in terms of actual game time, maybe a week's worth of sessions, like every day, maybe, you know, a few hours a day or whatever. So I'm getting better, but it's slow learning for me. Anyway, back to the point I was making. So the others jumped out early. I don't really know why, because if you stay on the bus longer, it takes you a lot closer to the destination, a lot quicker than it would if you're flying yourself. However, there is like a balance. So you don't want to jump out right when you're on top of the point, because people who jump out earlier than you will land faster than you. So you want to jump out before them, but not so early that if they wait for the bus to take them to the location, they jump out and they get there before you, if you follow what I mean. There's nothing worse than landing at a location where people have already looted everything, they've got weapons, and then you land and you get shot and you die straight away. As I said, equally, it's just as annoying if you're gliding down and suddenly people are flying past you because the bus took them a bit closer and they waited a little bit longer. And as you can see, you know this is an early piece of gameplay because I'm still harvesting materials really early on. I should be concentrating on regrouping with my team. I've got some weapons now. I don't really need to hang around much longer, but look at me just chopping away at stuff and just gathering up resources, which, as I've talked about in the previous video, it's a problem that I have. I mean, I like having a lot of resources, but there's no point in having a lot of resources and dying because, you know, you're on your own and your teammates are somewhere else. You just give the enemy those resources then, so it's kind of really stupid. Anyway, so as I said, early piece of gameplay. Another point that I've started to notice, well, I guess I've noticed since I've started playing this game, is that even though the map is available and people do use the marker, like sometimes people just jump out early randomly. You know, if you don't like the location we've chosen, pick another location so that we know where you're jumping. If you suddenly just jump out and we don't know where you're going, and suddenly everyone jumps out randomly, and then we just land in a really densely populated area. We've jumped out late because, as I said, if you jump out late and you land, this was the thing that I talked about a couple of weeks, maybe last week or something. Now, this is how I found out that friendly fire was activated in the game. I had no idea up until this point. I'd never shot a teammate before. There's no reason to shoot teammates unless you're a team killer, in which case, again, I've talked about this, it's a problem, blah blah blah. So there's no way for me to tell him that I'm going to give him a weapon. I saw him run past with just the pickaxe in his hand. I assume he dropped down and couldn't find anything, unless he was a total noob, in which case that would be why he's using the pickaxe and not a weapon. But I just assumed that he needed a weapon, so I dropped him a weapon. I tried to call him over, but he obviously, you know, he wasn't paying attention, or maybe he just didn't look out for the signs. So the only way for me to get to his attention was to shoot at him. I kind of didn't realise that friendly fire was on, and otherwise I would have shot near him rather than literally on him. Just so happens that one of the times I actually shoot someone, my shots are on target. Ugh, go figure. So I do a bit of damage, but I give him a weapon. Also, something else I've realised since as well is that I've got two assault rifles, a burst one and an M16. I could have just given him the burst one because you don't get any extra ammo for carrying two assault rifles. The weapons share ammo pools, so it says 47 bullets in each weapon, but technically it's the same pool of 47 bullets for each of the assault rifles. So if I dropped one of the assault rifles, I would still have 47 bullets for my M16, so it's kind of stupid. Again, it's just something you pick up as you play the game, and I don't really use that weapon. I don't really like it. It does a lot of damage, but I'm terrible with burst fire weapons in this game, in all the other games I play. So I could have dropped him that, as well as a shotgun, freed up some space, but again, you live and you learn. So early piece of gameplay, as I keep saying, but I probably don't need to tell you that because you can see that from all the rookie errors I'm doing. And again, harvesting resources when I could be doing other stuff. I don't know, just whatever. Anyway, I'm rambling on a bit now. Okay, so it really annoys me that people don't use the map. If they don't like the location, pick a different location. Let us know where you're planning to land. Even if you're going to jump out really early, just let us know so we can jump out with you. It doesn't make any sense that we jump out scattered and then we land late and we've got no loot and we all get shot and then we get separated and we all die and it's game over, and it's just really frustrating. And I genuinely don't understand. And whenever I play the game, I never pick a spot to land until after the buses start entering the map, because it's kind of, I try and pick a location that's not too close to the route, so I'll never drop anywhere that the bus is actually traveling, because it's a hotbed of activity, and if you're not communicating, you're not playing well as a part of a team, chances are you're going to get taken out one at a time, and then it's just game over within like 3 minutes. So it's kind of pointless. I always pick somewhere a little bit further afield, not too far, because obviously I don't know how good the other team are at getting to the location. I mean, I'm fairly confident in using my glide slash dive technique, you know, where you pop your parachute and then you go back into the dive and so on and so forth. But I don't know if everyone does that. So if I pick somewhere that's really far away, even if they're planning to come with me, if they can't make it that far, it's kind of pointless. So I pick somewhere not too far from the route of the battle bus, but not on it, because as I said, I don't want to be stuck too close to where everyone else is landing. And I never pick anywhere like the first half of the battle bus journey, because a lot of players sort of just jump out early. So if you leave it not right to the end, but like towards the end of the path that the bus is taking, you're gonna have a lot less people to deal with when you first land. So that's my technique anyway, and yeah, it works pretty well most of the time. Again, it all depends on how the rest of the team decide to play it. If they don't follow you, if you know, if they just jump out randomly, then it kind of makes it hard. But I guess I don't really need to say that. Okay, so moving on to the next topic. I did say I was going to try and put up a video before I started live streaming, and this is that video. So this week, Friday the 24th, is it Friday the 24th? Yes, Friday the 24th. I think that might be Black Friday, thinking about it now. I didn't realise that it was going to clash with that. Anyway, I'm going to stick with my plan. It's going to be pretty low key anyway, but Friday the 24th between 8 PM and 10 PM GMT. Almost shot my teammate again there. He cracked me up when he came around the corner. So between 8 PM and 10 PM GMT, so it's UK time, I'm going to be streaming Uncharted 4 Survival Arena Solo Crushing. So I kind of stepped off a bit playing that because I've been playing quite a lot of Fortnite and just, you know, doing other stuff, work and stuff. But I think that's a good opportunity for me to get back into the game, because it's a game that I'm confident in playing, and it's just something I can work towards, and you guys can, you know, enjoy me for the journey sort of thing. So if I do successfully complete a match solo, I will of course still upload it to the channel. But if you have to be watching it with me live, then great. I don't have a webcam set up or anything like that, so it's just gonna be me. I'll probably plug in my headset and have a, you know, talk to myself, or if you guys got any questions, you can ask me some stuff in the comment section or chat section. I believe I'm going to be streaming. I believe I'm going to be streaming on Twitch. Now, obviously I need to provide you with my Twitch channel and everything. My Twitch channel is the same as my Twitter handle, so sir_Alan_, and I will link that in the description. I'll also link it on the screen when I post annotate this video. So just check out that link, and I'll be streaming, as I said, between 8 and 10 PM on Friday the 24th. So that's in the evening, not in the morning. As I said, I think that might be Black Friday, so I don't know if you guys are planning to do some shopping or whatever, but it's going to be low key, as I said. So that'll be my first ever session streaming. I'm going to be doing some Uncharted 4 Survival Arena. I'm going to be continuing with my slow crushing challenge. So yeah, if you've got nothing else planned for the evening, or if you've got, you know, a spare few minutes, whatever, pop by, say hello. I'd appreciate the support. If not, just stick your head in and see what's going on. Let me know if I'm doing a terrible job or a good job, I don't know, but it's going to be pretty low key. It's going to be my first ever time streaming, so if I'm awful, then forgive me, but give me some constructive feedback. And if I'm good, or if, you know, you enjoy the gameplay, then of course let me know so I can continue doing what I'm doing. Right, so back to the gameplay now. As you can see, I'm stuck in the storm, which is not a good place to be. I've since learnt as well that the early stages of the storm, it moves quite fast, so you can't outrun it, but you do take slightly lower damage. I think it's like one damage hit per second or something like that, or is it 2, something like that. But as the storm gets smaller, so you can outrun it then in the later stages, but if you get caught in the storm, you take a crap ton of damage. So it goes from like 5 to 10, I think, maybe even higher than that. So if you get caught in the storm in the later stages, it is very deadly. So at the start, you can sort of get caught a little bit, as you saw me do there, but towards the end of the game, you definitely want to avoid the storm where possible. Unfortunately, we did lose a couple of teammates. I think the Storm took one, and obviously in the prior engagement we lost the player as well. And as you can see, me and the remaining player we got split up basically in the Storm, so they're a bit further away from where I am. I'm kind of sneaky here. I'm stuck in between two warring parties, so you got one to the left, one to the right. I've let them just fight it out. The party on the left pushed the party on the right, and they failed, and I sort of fired a few shots down one of the players on the left, which helped the party on the right. And that's quite fortunate, because if I'd downed one of the players on the right, they might have spotted where I was, and then they would have come after me. But because I shot the last remaining person on the left, his team got wiped out, or their team got wiped out, and they didn't come looking for me because obviously they were all dead, and the other team were happy to loot the remaining bodies. And then I just sneakily, as you can see now, I'm just flanking up behind them. I don't actually engage because I'm outnumbered massively, and they've got the high ground. And if they turn around at all, so at this point I'm just praying they don't turn around, which they don't. So I managed to stay alive, and I'm just following them from a distance. And well, you'll see what happens in due course. So yeah, I should have regrouped with my fellow remaining teammate, but they're quite far away, and I was going to pursue them. I'm not going to lie to you, but I decided against it in the end. So they took the high ground, I decided to just keep on the low ground. As you can see, the Storm's coming in, so I thought just get to my teammate as close as possible, and we'll go from there. Okay, so there's just a few more things I want to talk about. Oh, that was a kill, by the way, obviously. I think this person fell off the mountain because they were going backwards, and I think they were planning to climb back up the wooden steps, obviously, which their teammate had built. However, I met them, and their teammates, maybe they weren't communicating, so they didn't come after me. If they'd have both jumped down the mountain, I guess they could have taken me, but they would have put themselves at a disadvantage. So got an easy kill there, and throughout this entire segment, I had a med kit, and I really should have used it. I'm at 60 health, which is not a great deal to me. That's like 2 shots from an AR or something, or 1 shot from from any shotgun. So again, you can tell this is an early piece of gameplay because I really should have used it to get myself to 100%. There's no point keeping it, and as I said, if you end up dying and then someone else picks it up, like an enemy for example, then you've just given them a free med kit, which could have kept you alive. You know, it's only 40 extra health, but it is, you know, it's better than nothing. And it does take a long time to put on. As you can see here, I see an enemy in front of me, and I'm tempted to swap out, and I do in the end, but it takes so long for me to line up this sniper. And this is the thing that I want to talk about. So it takes 10 seconds to put on a med kit, by the way. It heals you to 100%. I think it takes like 4 seconds, 5 seconds for a bandage, but that only heals you up to 75% if you didn't realize. So yeah, anyway, the weapon aiming in this game is so weird. I really struggle with it, and I would love to practice it offline, but there's just not an option to do that, unfortunately. I mean, I guess you could buy like the PvE side of the game, but that's going to be free next year anyway, so there's no point in me buying it. And to be honest, I don't know if I'd enjoy it that much anyway, because it's in early access at the moment, so they're still working on things. But the biggest gripe I have with this game at the moment is that, coming from a game like Uncharted, where you can shoulder swap so easily, this game just doesn't have it. And it really, really, really does need it, because otherwise, for example, if I'm attacking players on the left now from that mountain, I've got the advantage. But if I was on the other side pushing players, you know, so if they were attacking me around the side of that mountain, they would be at a disadvantage because they can't swap shoulders, and I would be able to see them first and be able to shoot them first and be able to react first. So I think it's really something they need to sort out as soon as possible. It's good that adding, you know, new weapons and tweaking behind the scenes settings and stuff like that, but adding a shoulder swap to this game should be top of their list, and dealing with team killers. I don't know which one's higher up. Maybe team killers. I don't know. They should deal with both team killers and being able to swap shoulders, because those two really do ruin the enjoyment for me. And I imagine a few other people as well out there. Anyway, so Storm's closing in. I'm not paying attention to it. And I didn't think that this guy was still here, but I thought I'd check the base anyway. And I found a load of loot, so I decided to loot it. But my looting game is awful, and you'll see that in a second. Okay, so yeah, the controls on console are really clunky. I know it's a problem for everyone who plays on console, but it's just so bad having to juggle so many different things with just a few buttons. So the building, I sometimes, like when I panic build, I can't do it quickly. I'm awful at doing that, and that's because I need to think to swap over to the building side, and then to make sure the materials are right, and then I have to flip over to the thing that I want to build, and then sometimes you need to rotate them, and it's just oh, it's awful, and I just can't do that under pressure. So my building game is terrible, but I blame the controller for that because there's just not enough configurations. It'd be nice to have like a hotkey where you can just bash it. Like the left and the right button isn't actually programmed to anything on the D-pad, so it'd be nice to just like, you know, left for wall, right for steps, something like that. Or just be able to program it to whatever you wanted to program it to, because it's not great on console. I know that I'm not the only one that suffers with that. I'm curious to know how well a mouse and keyboard would work. I mean, I literally sit at my desk when I'm playing, so I've got a mouse and keyboard to plug in if I want to, but I just don't know how it would work. And to be honest, I'm okay playing with the controller. It's not a big a deal. I just need to practice it. But again, there's just nowhere for me to practice, which is again one of the problems that I have. And traps and stuff like that, I have never used one of those in the game at all, and I don't even know how they work. I've never run into one either, so I guess other people don't really use them, but they can be effective. Apparently they do quite a lot of damage. Some of them can almost one-hit kill you, so there's no reason not to use them, but there's not really an opportunity for me to try them out and just practice. It would be nice to just have like a training server or something where you can just jump on and just, you know, I don't know, if maybe like a TDM server or something where you can just go on and just shoot each other and just, you know, unlimited resources. You can just build like crazy bases and that. I think that'd be really fun. Just, you know, as I said, even if it's just for friends or something, but I understand that that's a whole server and then they can't use for people to play games. So it's one of those sort of things. I spot a sign in the distance, pull out a sniper, boom, one hit kill from range. I don't get many sniping kills in this game because opportunities doesn't come often, but I was happy with my shot there and I managed to get it one hit kill. There is bullet drop, so you need to take that into consideration, and there is bullet travel time as well. So it's not hit scan, it's projectile based. So if you see an enemy moving, you need to sort of plan you need to take that into consideration because obviously the target's not standing still, and as I said, there is bullet drop. So the further you are away, the bullet's going to drop further down. So if you're aiming for the head, for example, you might hit the chest. So a good thing to do is to aim just a little bit above the head, and even if you miss the head, then you'll still get the chest shot. And if you are at a height already, so if you're shooting from the top of a mountain downwards, then obviously the bullets won't be affected too much by bullet drop. But if you're shooting from the bottom of the mountain up, then you need to factor a lot more bullet drop in. Right, so teammate gets taken out. I see the two running in the distance, and they've left him because they know the storm's going to get him. I mean, I could go for him, but because of the storm and everything, I lost so much health because it does more damage. Anyway, teammate drops out, died, and now as you can see, it's just me versus two others, and it was the two others that took out my teammate. So it's between me and them, and I won't spoil the result. Well, technically, I've already put it in the title, so I guess, well, you know what happens, but you'll see how it happens. So I'll let it play out, and I'll just talk about a few other things. So the thing that I was trying to talk about earlier before I got sidetracked is that weapons in this game, as well as the building controls and everything, are really clunky, but I don't understand the sensitivity. It's really bizarre. I mean, I get a couple of good snipes here and there in this game, but I'll be honest with you, some of that is down to luck. I'm very beginner at this point in this game, so the fact that I landed these shots, I mean, yeah, right, I played enough shooters in my time to know how the basics work, but in terms of saying that I was really confident in hitting that shot 100%, I'd be lying. You know, it's not just snipers, but the ARs, the shotguns as well. I don't know what it is, but like when you aim and you strafe or whatever, it doesn't work that well. I don't really quite understand. I know I need more practice. I'm not denying that, but without a place to practice, I can't really nail down what it is that I need to work on. And I'm sure that some of these weapons for sure need tweaking anyway, because when you aim with a sniper, the sensitivity if you don't program it to start off with is all over the place. And you might experience that for yourself, and it's the similar sort of situation with shotguns. AR's not too bad, pistol's not too bad. Anyway, as you can see there, the guy went for his teammate. It's kind of lucky that the shot that I fired at the other guy on the ground, that should have killed him by the way, but it didn't kill him. It's kind of lucky because his other teammate went over to pick him up. That was the same teammate that I did tag earlier with the sniper, so I stripped their shields entirely in that first engagement, and that helped me towards the end. I think they had the scar, but as you saw there, I stuck my head out, fired a couple of shots, and fortunately I did enough damage earlier to finish him off in a few shots this time round. And that was my first ever victory on Fortnite Battle Royale ever. So my first ever victory was in a squads match. I don't know if I've said before, but I don't really play that much solo because I don't really enjoy it as much. But I kind of like squads when you don't get shot in the back from team killers and when everyone's, you know, working as a unit. It's kind of cool that I got my first ever win in a squads but public match as well. That's the main thing here, so quite happy with this achievement, and I got a few kills out of it as well, and the rest of the team stayed to watch, which is kind of nice. Most people just drop out straight away, so that was kind of nice to be able to share that with them, and we got a top placement as well. Right, so that will do it for today's video. As I said, I'll be streaming this Friday between 8 and 10 p.m. GMT, so that's UK time. If you've got nothing else on, swing by, say hello, or just check out some gameplay. As I said, I'll be doing some Uncharted 4 solo crushing survival arena. If you enjoyed the gameplay, consider tapping the like button. I really do appreciate it. As I said, it's my first ever victory in Fortnite Battle Royale, so kind of special video for me today. But yeah, if you've got any thoughts you'd like to share me regarding anything I've talked about today, let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, take care, and I will see you later.